The 16th of August, 2018. After thousands of hours of blood, sweat and tears, waking up every day to drag myself to school, I had finally done it. I opened up that envelope, looked at my just above average grades and realized it was happening. Your boy was going to university, fam. You see, from a young age, we were placed on this conveyor belt designed to hopefully create a useful, functioning citizen that can help make the country a better place. Of course, not everyone ends up going, but best believe at one point it was weird if you didn't. But times are changing, bro. The views of spending 3 years working for a degree is getting turned on its head. So I guess the real question is university still a worthwhile investment, especially for those entering the digital creative industry? What is good, beautiful people? As you read the title, today I'm going to be talking about whether university is actually a worthwhile investment, specifically for those entering into the digital creative industry. You know, after my last 3 years of studying here at university, I've been able to gather some time and perspective to really gather my opinions. I think, has it been worth the investment that I'm putting all this money into? Is it gonna pay off in the end? Of course, I haven't completely finished uni and I haven't left yet, so I don't know whether it's gonna be as valuable, but this is my opinion of the 3 years of university. And yeah, if you want to find out whether university is going to be worth it for you, then get comfy, catch yourself a vibe. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let's get into it. So I remember back in the day, around about A-level times, a couple of my friends, they ended up having to redo a year. And at the time, it seemed like it was literally the end of the world. To be honest, even me taking out a gap year back then, it seemed like, oh my gosh, how are you doing this, Torrin? This is mad. You need to be making sure you're going to uni as quick as possible, getting stuff done as quick as possible. Depending on what route you take, university can take 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years out of your life if you take a gap year. By the time you leave university, you end up being around 21, 22, 23. You see, when we're kids, we usually think, okay, we go to university at 18, we graduate at 21 and enter the real world and start working from there. But if you end up going to university and having extra years on top of that, then it's even worse sometimes. You end up leaving by 23, that's 2 years behind your cohort and your age mates, and then it's basically the end of the world. A lot of people feel like by going to university and taking gap years and doing all these things, it slows you down. Some people want to go straight into working from 18, and nowadays there's so many opportunities for you to do that, especially with things like apprenticeships and internships and all these different things where you can work and learn at the same time from 18. And by the time you're 21, you might be earning 26, 27k before the people that are graduating come out of uni and they're back on 20k. Do you know what I mean? So it really depends what you're looking for and depends how fast you want to get into the workforce. I will say for me though, I'd say these last 3 years have been a perfect time to just experiment and try things and just grow. Of course, having to put in assignments has been a huge cop block for that, but in general, it has been such a great time to just sit down, focus, and just try different things and experiment with the craft. You know what I'm saying? Being able to do that in this kind of ecosystem of university means I don't have to report to a boss. I haven't got real problems per se. I get to be in this little bit of a uni bubble for a couple years and I get to find myself at the same time. I will say in this field as a digital creative sector, whatever you want to call it, experience is key. No matter what you get in university, whether you're graduating with a first or a master's or whatever, it's all going to come down to experience. It's all going to come down to, have you worked on set? Have you worked with different clients? Do you know how to invoice? Do you know how to do X, Y, and Z? That's what's going to matter the most. So even if you do come to university, make sure you're using a lot of your time to try different things and get that experience. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of your time. You see, for me personally, I think as kids, we are rushed into making these decisions on what careers we want to do, what courses we want to take way too early. Like, how are we supposed to know at 16, 17, 18 what we want to do as a job for pretty much the rest of our lives? This is why so many people end up picking a random course and then by final year of uni, they end up hating what they do and realize it's actually not what they want to do anyway. Yet this time, they earn thousands and thousands of pounds to the government purely off a mistake. This is why I'm such an advocate for gap years. Essentially what I ended up doing, deep it. If I didn't take a gap year, I would be doing psychology right now. For all I know, I could be doing my doctorate, trying to become a psychiatric person or somewhat. And who knows, maybe I would have enjoyed it. But right now, I feel like I found something that I genuinely started to love and, enjoy way more. Like creating videos, creating content, being in this different sector. So that just goes to show how much a year of just living life and experiencing can actually help make a difference in the course that you end up picking down the line. So unless you're sure about the industry you want to go into or the requirements that it takes, which is a degree in order to succeed in your path, then I would say do uni. But if it's something that you can just do through practical experience and you're still 100% sure that you want to do it that way, just do that, because it can sort of end up being a waste of time. So starting September this year, I will owe Student Finance England approximately, wait for it, £60,000. By the time I end up paying it off, if I ever pay it off, it'll be somewhere in the region of 100k. University in general is probably the second highest investment after a house that most people are making their entire life. If I'm being honest, these days, for this type of course in this type of industry, do I think it's worth it? Hell no. Especially with the fact that hybrid learning is starting to come a lot more into play. Like the industry is changing, bro. Like in the next 5 to 10 years, we can literally be doing university in the metaverse or something stupid like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So essentially you're paying all that money to learn through a screen. A lot of my actual practical skills, I purely learn online. I learn through masterclasses, YouTube channels, all these different things. There were a few workshops here and there that the university provided, but other than that, it's all been practical stuff that I was learning through a screen anyway. Do you know what I mean? And again, I said experience is the key here. So as much as university teaches you like theories and all these different things, what's really going to benefit you in the long run? Do you know what I mean? I genuinely recommend just investing in online classes and master sessions and all these different things. It's way more direct, way more straight to the point. You're learning through a screen anyway. And I feel like it's way more transferable as well. Like you can take this masterclass, do it at your own pace, and then literally transfer it that same day into how to create a business and do it for yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? So, however, I will say there are some advantages to the system. Depending on your financial situation, if you have enough money to sustain your day to day, you can actually use the system to your advantage and kind of hack it. So this is what I did. During my gap year, I worked quite a bit, so I had enough money saved to where I had enough money for food, going out, all of these different things. So when I got that student finance lump sum, I was able to invest a large portion of that into buying equipment, funding stuff for videos, and putting myself in a position where I could experiment with things. I was able to start a podcast for a bit. I was able to buy new camera equipment, new lighting gear, and again, this brings up your value when you're pitching and doing stuff for clients along the way. Do you know what I'm saying? Put it this way, by using student finance to actually buy all this equipment and this software and investing into your digital side hustle, you're able to start your business and start charging from uni. That builds your experience, it builds your portfolio whilst getting the degree. Do you get what I'm saying? You're kind of using it to your advantage. It's kind of like seeing student finance as credit, because you're going to pay them back, but you're going to pay them back anyway. But this time you were able to pay them back through the equipment you bought and the business that you were able to build and charge. And do you get what I'm saying? You're basically investing into your future now using the student finance you're always going to get. Instead of spending it on dominoes and all these different things, you're just investing it into what you're doing. And that's the way to kind of hack the system. If you're coming to university purely for the education, you're capping. You're absolutely a liar. We both know you're coming for the experience, to meet new people, to get a little wild and, have that freedom that you haven't had in a while. And get away from your parents, let's be real. What I would say has been one of the most beneficial things for me has been this thing about the opportunities and the networking and the people and all these different things. The people you meet in your accommodation, the people you meet in your uni course, the people you meet outside of uni, it just changes your perspective on life. Like deep, it's the first time you're actually outside of your city that you grew up in. You're no longer with your schoolmates. You're in a completely different environment and you're gonna find new things. Like everybody's coming from all over the country for the same kind of thing. and they're like-minded people like you. So you get to build on those interests and find new people and find your people. And I think that's something that people really need to do when it's going through that growing up stage. Do you know what I'm saying? When you go straight into an apprenticeship, you'll go straight into the work environment and the workforce. I don't know about you, but I'd feel uncomfortable at 18 years old working with someone that's 42, been in the workforce for 25 years, and just have to talk to them about their kids and stuff. Do you know what I mean? For me, I'd like to take that time to actually grow up a bit more, get to know more people, spend time actually seeing what the world has out there before going straight into a workforce and chatting to older people. Do you know what I'm saying? And if your uni's doing things right, especially if you're on like a digital course, they should be plugging you with events, workshops, all these different experiences where you get to network with people that are industry leaders. So if you're looking for stuff like that, I definitely recommend it. Especially places like Manchester, where you're right next to Media City, where the city has so much vibrance and life to it, where you can tell stories and meet new people. That's what uni should be about. The degree alone isn't going to save you. You need to use all of these different things and kind of make it your own experience and make it work for you. Everybody's here for a different reason. Don't just join it and come here for the sake of coming here. Actually have a purpose to it. Come here with intention. Know what you're going to use your money for. Know what you're going to use your free time for. Know what you're going to use the opportunities for. This is where people go wrong. They just come here, they're shocked when things are not the way they thought it was going to be, and then they're confused about what they're going to do by third year, and then it's just peak. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, is university worth it as a digital artist, creator, media person? Maybe. And I know that's not the answer people want. You want a more straightforward answer, but it genuinely depends on what it is that you want to achieve. For me, year 1 and year 2, I genuinely considered dropping out. At times I really thought I had more value in just attacking this myself, whether that was through self-employment or just getting a job on an apprenticeship instead. It would have been cheaper, quicker, a lot less hassle, not having to think about assignments, and it gives me a lot more focus on solely just doing this. Although uni genuinely has been that time where I've been able to marinate and just rest and experiment and try different things, network with people, explore more, and I think that's vital as a creative person. Even this stage that I'm at right now where I'm about to graduate, I still don't 100% know what it is that I want to do in terms of what I want to create and bring to the table, but I get to try things. I get to make videos like this. I get to explore different avenues. I don't have to go into work 5 days a week because I have time to myself where I can try things. So if you're able to do that and using student finance to your advantage to actually invest in your craft, for me, then I would say it's a yes. Plus, having a degree actually does help with my perceived value. So say, for example, I do go self-employed, when I'm able to pitch myself to clients, because I have a degree, that actually does bring a new caliber of value to what I'm bringing to the table. So it's not just my practical knowledge, I have academic knowledge too, and that is another way to charge more. It's a way to be on top of the competitors and all these different things as well. So again, really depends on what you want to do, how important education is to you, and all these different things. And just be smart with it, be intentional with it, and have fun with it. Uni's supposed to be a time for fun. If I could go back, that's probably what I'd do more. I'd probably just have a little bit more fun and go with the vibes, really. But yeah, is uni worth it? I guess I'll find out in the next year or so after I graduate and see if I can get a job like this or not, huh? But yeah, it's been your boy Taran Joshua. I hope that helps you guys figure out a bit more whether you guys want to come to uni, whether uni's been good for you. And if you're a digital creator in any way, shape or form and you went to uni, let me know what you thought. Like, put it down in the comments. Let me know if your course has been good for you, what you would change, what you wouldn't change. There's people out there that really are struggling whether to go to uni next year. So let's help them out, innit? Let's have that conversation going. But yeah, it's been your boy Taran Joshua. Peace.